Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and today we're going to be talking about putting, yes, the purple and yellow leader, a deck that I've been spending way too much time playing for this PRB02 meta, but I have been having such a ton of fun playing it. We're going to be talking about my deck list. We're going to be going over a matchup chart that I made, as well as talk about a different other possibilities you can run for the deck, deck alternatives, deck choices, and yeah, we're also going to be looking at someone else's deck list that actually got top 32 at a regional 1,000-player person tournament, as well as talking about my experience that I had taking putting to the core TCG regional, which we're going to go to get into. But first things first, let's talk about this deck list. Yeah, I played putting at the core regional. This is the list that I took. I spent a lot of time playing this, and the main reason why is because I'm such a pretty big fan of putting itself. I think the deck is actually really cool. It's a lot of fun, and it can get kind of tricky and a little very specific at times. The deck is not very forgiving, mainly because it's 4 life, and unfortunately 4 life leaders have a really tough time living. So if you guys don't know what this leader does, it's 5,000 power, 4 life. When attacking, you may turn the top 2 cards of your life face up, and if you do, you get to ramp a Dawn Arrested. Now, if you have 1 life face up and the other one is face down, you cannot ramp. You have to turn the top 2 face up, and in the similar situation, if both of your top life are face up, you can't use your effect at all. So your life has to be face down in order for you to ramp. So that's mainly what the leader does, and what's really nice is that it has the type Big Mom Pirates, which is extremely relevant. And we're gonna start things off here by thanking Eggman Events for allowing me to use their deck builder on my YouTube channel. Of course, obviously I build all my deck lists as well as find a lot of the great event coverage, which we're gonna get into later as well. So first things first, but secondly, we're gonna be talking about that 1 cost searcher putting 1k counter. This card is very good. Very big fan of this character. Searches the top 5 for a Big Mom Pirates card. It has to be 2 cost or more though, and then Dawn -1, you actually get to Dawn -1, you get to look at the top card of your opponent's deck and you leave it there. Nothing else. It's really just kind of like having knowledge on your opponent's next turn, which is very fantastic. So if your opponent is running low in hand size, literally knowing every single turn what they do is very good. So very cool stuff there. You do have to rest the card in order to do so. So if they have like another like smaller character to just get rid of it, they usually do, just because they're like, hey, this is actually not too bad, I need to get rid of this card. Next card, which we have the 1 cost blocker. It does have counter, and it is only searchable through one of our puttings, but what's really nice is that oftentimes with this deck we want to kind of prolong the game as long as possible. Our mid to late game is like absolutely nuts, so the more time we spend in that time spread, that time frame, we just do really good. So allowing us to have another option as a blocker always that's searchable is very strong. We're only running 2 copies of that. The next card is we have 4 copies of the 1 cost Big Mom Pirates putting searcher as well. This one's 2,000 power, which is very relevant, especially when you're going first and you want to swing 2 5s and still ramp. You totally can, but you look at the top 4, you get any Big Mom Pirates card except a pudding. So unfortunately, there's some issues with that, which is a lot of reasons why people don't run this card or run fewer copies than 4. So next card is we have 2 cost Zeus, 2k counter, searchable through both of the pudding searchers that we have. And what's quite nice about this is that you were able to KO a 5 cost or lower on play by taking your own life. Sometimes I will play it just so I can get my top life that's face up back to my hand, and then with the remainder of my life that's face down, I get to attack it and still ramp. Plus, I was able to remove a body. Plus, I drew a card, right? So, really great stuff. It's a 0 if you play it, yeah, which is pretty nice. You can also do a couple little really cool things here, which I'll get into a little bit later. Next card is we have 2 cost Katakuri. He's a 3k body. Activate main. You get to play out a Katakuri from your hand with the equal cost to the amount of Dawn that your opponent has. So if your opponent has 8 Dawn, you're actually able to kind of like play out a 2 cost and then warp into an 8 cost character Katakuri from your hand, or the 6 cost Katakuri in your hand. So the idea for 4 Dawn, possibly playing 2 8 cost characters So for 4 Dawn, we played a total of 16 cost. It's pretty insane. It's insane value. Next card is we have Beige Capone. We're running at 4 copies. We all know what this character does. It stalls you a turn if it's in life. If not, it's just a 2k counter in hand. You can also do some cool, tricky little things with that card, which we'll talk in a little bit. But overall, it's 2k counter. You could honestly take this card out for another Big Mom Pirates card that's searchable, but I think honestly, being a 4-life leader, we need a little bit of luck on our side. Unfortunately, that's just the life that we live. Being a yellow plus 4-life leader is kind of hard. So next card is we have one that not that many I've seen pudding players play, and that's actually the 4-cost Brulee. It's a 1000 power character with 1k counter, Big Mom Pirates type, and then it's a blocker as well, and on KO you get to ramp 1 Dawn. Now what's really nice about this card is that early on in the game you don't have a ton of different options other than playing searchers. We're really kind of waiting for our main like kind of our mid to late game, so playing out a card that can essentially buy you a turn since it eats up an attack, plus it ramps you a Dawn, puts you in a really good position on quite a few different matchups. And as well as if your opponent makes you go second, and for whatever reason, if you go first and you don't find 6-cost Katakuri, which we'll get into in a little bit, this helps you get there. And if your opponent doesn't want to attack because they don't want you to ramp, sure, they just bought you another turn, exactly what you wanted to do anyways, right? It seems very solid. Definitely a cuttable card, but I personally love it a lot. Next card is we have just a 6-cost vanilla beat stick, Daifuku. Literally 2k counter, 6-cost, 7k power. Another one that not too many pudding players do play. I do see a couple here and there that do like to run it. I will talk about why I run this card. Next card is we have 4 copies of 6-cost Katakuri. This is a card that going first is absolutely insane. On 4 Dawn, on 3 Dawn, going second while you went first, swinging 5k with lead gets you up to 4 Dawn since you ramp 1 Dawn active. So now you're at 4 Dawn. The following turn 3, you're at 6 Dawn, and on 6 Dawn, you play Katakuri, you turn the life face down, and then you swing again to ramp an additional Dawn. So on the following turn, you're actually on turn 4, 10 Dawn, which is kind of crazy. Katakuri is one of the only ways that allows you to do that. There's a couple different options that you can do, but yeah, that's one of the main cards that allows you to Giga ramp very, very fast. Next card is the first and only new card of this deck, and that's actually 7-cost Pudding. 7-cost Pudding, I guess I'll read it first. 7-cost Pudding is a Dawn -2 effect on play. If your leader is Big Mom Pirates, you get to draw 2 cards and then play out a 6k to 8k character from your hand, but it has to be Big Mom Pirates, and your opponent has to be at 6 or more Dawn. So a couple different things here. Your opponent has to be at 6 or more Dawn, and you have to have a 6k to 8k character to play off. If you don't, you can just play it, draw the 2, and that's it. You don't have to play out a character if you don't want to, or you don't have one. You can just draw 2, and drawing 2 is pretty nice. It's a 1k counter, it's a 5k body, a lot of really cool things here, and the main reason why this card is so good isn't because you get to play out a free body. I think it's mainly because you get to draw. Yellow has a very big issue where it lacks draw power, and Pudding, that has always been the biggest issue against very aggressive decks, is that we just need to draw more cards to counter out of or kind of save us. We're looking for our missing pieces, and Pudding allows you to go wide plus draw. Like, it literally helped this deck out by miles. Next card is we have 8-cost Katakuri. Now Katakuri is one that we have seen in Purple Luffy as well as UP Luffy, but it's a fantastic card in Pudding, allowing you to play out this character on, let's say on 8 or 9 Dawn. You play Pudding, you Dawn -2. So if you're at let's say you're at 8 Dawn, you go down to 6. Well, Katakuri allows you to ramp 1 more, so you go to 7 at the end of your turn, and then you get to obviously have 2 more Dawn. It's an 8k blocker. A lot of decks have issues with this character, and most times if they don't have DMG, it's really, really tough for them. They also have to find DMG as well. So against Zoro, having an 8k going even is really insane, on top of the fact that you get to unrest 2 Big Mom Pirates characters with the cost of 3 or more. 3 or more. Yeah, 3 or more. So being able to block plus unrest every turn is insane. Or attack plus unrest is really nuts. It gets around a lot of green decks, which is fantastic. Next card is we have 3 copies of the ACOS yellow Katakuri. This card is insane. Very, very good right now. It's an ACOS character. It's AK power. You add the top. You add a character on the board that's 8k or less. I'm sorry, 8 cost or less, and you add it to the top or the bottom of either your life or your opponent's life, and that's really, really important. Main reason why is because it gets around. It buys you a turn. It gets around like really big, bulky characters that your opponent might have, like maybe ACOS Katakuri or your opponent's Mihawk. Those are all fantastic targets that you can put to the bottom of their life and say, hey, you're never going to see this card again. And if you do, you have to see another one. So you have to waste another turn playing another big card like that. So really, really great stuff. I love the combination of the two. We run 7 copies of the two together because we want to make sure that when we have access to a 2-cost Katakuri, we always have a body to play off of that 2-cost Katakuri. And if we don't, Pudding, 7-cost Pudding only has, at this current deck list, has 4 different targets. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wizard, that's a lot of targets. 7 copies here, 11 cards here with the 4 here, and then like 15 cards here. 15 targets you can play off of Pudding. Guys, I can't even tell you how many times I missed this. Playing Pudding and not being able to play something off of Pudding, whether it's a 6-cost vanilla, is literally the worst thing ever. It's so infuriating for this to happen to you because you draw 2 cards, you have searchers, and still you don't have the big character to play. It's so wild to me sometimes, but that is why we run 4 copies of the Daifuku, because look, we're playing a body no matter what. It's happening, and sometimes it just doesn't happen, so very unfortunate. Next card here is we have 9-cost Big Mom. That's the purple one, the one that UP used to run, and now a lot of purple Luffy decks do play. You -1, you put a card on the board that's 6 cost or less back to your opponent's life. Optional, and then you also get to recover 1 as long as you trash 1 and then don -1. So really great stuff. I'm only running 1 copy because mainly it's really good in like 2 decks. It's very good against aggressive decks, and it's very good against a couple of green decks. Main reason why it's kind of a fine line is because sometimes you can actually like give your opponent like way too much life, and in the end it'll actually backfire on you. So next card is we have 3 copies of the 10-cost Big Mom. This card I had at 2 originally, but going from 4 to 3 to 3 to 2 and then back to 3, I found that Big Mom just wins you the game sometimes. It's an on play. If your leader is Big Mom Pirates, you get to trash your opponent's life and you get to recover 1. So you recover 1 and your opponent trashes 1. It doesn't go to their hand, it goes to the trash. So that is extremely important. And, obviously no triggers activate, and having a 12k beat stick on the board on the following turn is just very hard to deal with, and it answers a lot of matchups. And against a lot of rogue decks, that gets you places. Consecutive 10 moms just really does a lot. So next card here is we have the 0-cost event card, one that a lot of Pudding players do not run, and I get it, but I also don't get it. Main reason why I think this card's broken in this deck, we're not even like banking on the last card for it to be an event, for it to be our last card in our life. I mean, it'd be great, but for the most part, we have to do a lot of dead cards, and there's no real way to pitch them at all. So if for whatever reason I am sitting with 3 Katakuris in my hand, if I don't have the 2-cost Katakuris or Puddings in my hand, sometimes they just get really, really bulky in my hand, and I need to get rid of them somehow, some way or another. And if I'm running an event card that allows me to or requires me to have Unrested Dawn, well, DMG gets around that. So honestly, I'm a big fan of this current list. It unfortunately has very big glaring weaknesses in matchups, which we're going to go over in just a second. But cuttable cards for me is the 1-cost Blocker, the 4-cost Brule, The 9 cost Linlin, honestly, you could get copies of the Daifuku, but having another 2K searcher is also very important. I've seen a lot of people cut the 1 cost pudding for the 1 cost event, which again we'll talk about in just a little bit. But overall, I am very happy with this list. I spent a lot of time crafting this list, a lot of help from friends as well. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go over the tier list right now. All right, so we are here, and we're gonna be going over what I think are pudding's matchups and my current personal opinion. Shout out to the homie Card D for this amazing tier list builder that he made on his website. So go ahead and check that out. Yeah, we're going to talk about the even matchups. We're going to work our way up, and then we're going to work our way down. We're going to talk about the good before we talk about the bad. So starting at even, I have Purple Luffy, Calgara, Nami, Green Zoro, and Sanji here. Let's talk about Purple Luffy and Calgara together. I do think these matchups can go either way depending on who goes first. The Purple Luffy is a bit of a kind of a question mark. Not many people that I know are running the now a lot more common Big Mom Pirates Purple Luffy. Now what's extremely benefiting for pudding is that if your opponent ramps, it allows you to play 7 cost pudding a lot earlier, as well as the 2 cost categories, which most of them don't have access to. Literally no Luffy deck can actually play 7 cost pudding since it's not a Big Mom Pirates leader. So having that edge on the deck is fantastic. Playing on 8 cost categories is really good. And if your opponent thinks, hey, I can play 8 cost categories a lot faster than you can, well, you better guess again, because if you play 1 out, I can just put it back in your life, which you can then take again if you'd like. But I'm constantly having characters that are being able to deal with your board as well as heal. So, and then yeah, it's a lot of really great control that pudding can actually do thanks to the 8 cost yellow category. So I do think it's kind of even, though I think it can go kind of either way. I think I imagine if they see an explosive start, then it could be pretty even. So next is Calgara. You go very wide. If you recover, they're going to play a free body out. They have Noland. It's okay. I don't think too much of it. I don't think it's like going to get blown out of the water either way. So I'm leaving it as even. Nami can be kind of annoying. Main reason why I say it's kind of annoying, 7 cost Odin is nasty. If they play that card on curve going first, it's very rough. But other than that, I think you have the edge. You get to trash their life a lot more consistently thanks to Tenmom. It's searchable as well. They have access to Red Rock, but also a lot of your characters are 7k and above, which is extremely relevant when the leader can become 7k very easily. So having those really big numbers, you're able to go very, very tall, and there's a lot of their cards that just you can't really deal with with our board, right? Like consistently. Like, how do you get rid of 2 8 cost characters without playing 2 Red Rocks in 1 turn? You just can't. So that's my opinion there. Zoro is a very interesting one. I think the matchup is very dependent on who goes first. If pudding goes first, I think you have a really good matchup. I think if you go a second, it gets very tough, because they can apply so much pressure, and if they see early on their 3 cost events, it can get very very difficult. 8 cost category is a huge help, and so is 8 cost yellow category. You can actually not starve them, but you can actually slow down their game very, very much so. But eventually you have to also understand that they get to swing twice a turn, essentially, swinging at your characters plus you. So having that knowledge is super important. Is another reason why I love the 0 cost event card, because even if they rest my categories with DMG, I still have some sort of heavy counter in my hand. So if I have, you know, an extra 8 cost category in my hand that's just dead sitting there, well, getting value off of that with very aggressive swings can be very helpful. Sanji is one of the decks that you can actually, like I said, not starve, but really slow down. It's one of the only decks that doesn't have like it's a rush aggressive deck that doesn't have insane draw power like Rayleigh does. So you're actually able to really slow down the game thanks to all of your categories and big moms. Your blockers go a long way, right? So Next here we have +1 slightly winning for Pudding. So these are the easier matchups for us. We have Bonnie, Carrot, and Smoker. I'm gonna go ahead and just put them in one kind of facility. These leaders, well, these two really rely on your characters being rested. 8-cost Katakuri allows you to unrest your character, so very, very solid possibility there. The Smoker deck is 4-life leader as well, so that is extremely helpful. Every single leader but Nami we've talked about today so far is has been 5-life, so it's always a bit of a struggle. But having a 4-life leader feels very, very nice. I mean, they can play like a 6-cost Law on curve, but you can actually use 8-cost Katakuri to attempt to put it back. They're going to use the effect, make it go down to 2k, and then you can swing at it the same turn. So really insane stuff. Very, very helpful. 8, the yellow Katakuri leader, my brother. I'll just talk about them both at the same time. It's pretty much the same thing. These leaders, I feel like, counter each other, but when you're both colors, you counter both of them. The purple wishes they had yellow cards, and the yellow wishes they had purple cards. I have both Katakuris that I can play. I also have 10 Mom against the purple, and I have all the removal. I have cards like Zeus. So taking advantage of that is very, very good against both of these. Another leader we have is Koala. Generally speaking, other than Calgara, Pudding is the best yellow leader against other yellow leaders. So yes, you get to I get to draw my own life when I play an 8-cost or higher character, but I guess to also recover too. So I trash one, but I put one right back. Like, it didn't really do much, unfortunately, for Koala. And yeah, it's very, very good. Very, very good. Next is we have Rob Lucci. I played a Rob Lucci the other day. Very reliant on if I can go first or not. But overall, my characters are very, very tall. Don't have too many characters that are that low in cost. And obviously with a ton of the event cards that Rob Lucci can run to reduce the cost of my characters, it requires a lot. Like, it's very difficult to get rid of 2 8-cost characters on the board at one time. That's very, very hard. Very possible, but very difficult. Next is our +2, very favorable. I'm adding Rosinante here because, or even on the tier list, because 1, I'm a huge Rosinante fan. But 2, it actually got top 32 at another regional as well. I think the same one that the Pudding got top 32. It's another green deck. It's a lot slower. They have Sugar. I have 8-cost Katakuri that restands. They have Kid. I have 8-cost yellow Katakuri. You see what I'm going here? Like, it's very, very one-sided. Very, very one-sided. Anel is another one. The only way Anel can get difficult is if you don't see 10 Mom. But if you see 10 Mom, you are easy breezy. It's all under control. You are solid. Like, there's literally... This matchup is very, very free, as long as you see 10 Mom. You run 8 searchers. You're bound to find it, right? Okay, I'm gonna assume so. Next is Shanks. Shanks is another one. The 6-cost, the 9-cost starter deck Shanks actually does a lot in this matchup. For the most part, though, you're actually able to just kind of like, you're playing very, very tall. You're unresting your characters. You're swinging very large, and Shanks has a really hard time dealing with all that stuff. So, very big for that matchup. Next is Captain Kidd. It's another one that we talked about earlier. The beige allows them to have protection by removing the characters that puts them back in life, and that's fine actually. So if I go 8-cost Katakuri on their 7-cost Law and they put it back into the life, that's fine. That's what I wanted to do anyways. So it's not a big problem. 10 Mom, very, very good. Now, the deck that you probably see on here that you're probably wondering, am I crazy? Well, I'm not. I'm a wizard. That's the free 99 matchup. The one that is so free. So free. UP Luffy. I have only lost this deck once playing Pudding. Look, Am I playing my cousins and, you know, like family members, and they've only played One Piece once? Probably. But this matchup is extremely easy. 3 life. Okay. 3 life. 10 mom gets rid of a life. You recover 1. If they ramp, you're happy. You get to play 7. You get to play 7 pudding early. You get to play 2 cost Katakuris early. They play Sanji into Mihawk. They can't bottom deck anything because all my characters are 8 costs and above. If you bottom deck a 6 cost Katakuri, that's fine. I ramp just as fast as you. Like I said, I can consistently get out 8 cost Katakuris. You can't have any at all. A 10 mom goes double the amount of power that you currently have. If you have 2 up for giant, I go 22 into a 6k leader. Even with 2 giants, that's still a lot to ask for to get out of. You still can do it because you're also UP Luffy. But mind you, by that time, I already have at least 1 other Katakuri. So it's like 8k plus 22. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's a very difficult matchup for UP Luffy. The hardest part about this matchup is finding UP Luffys to play against. I swear to you, I have been playing I played into a regional, I played into different events, locals. No one is playing UP Luffy, but they win all the time. I don't even get it. It baffles me. It's so unfortunate. -1 unfavorable tier. We're finally down at the bottom. My least favorite conversation. We have Teach. The majority of your cards are on place. We are only saving grace here. The only reason why it's not worse than -1 is because of 2 cost Katakuri. They have no out to it. 2 cost Katakuri is a 2 cost character that is activate main. Boom. So on their 8 dawn turn, you can actually double drop for 4 dawn 2 8 cost characters, which is extremely relevant. That's actually really big. On top of the fact of swinging like 6, 7k, whatever the case may be. So very strong. You're actually able to go kind of wide. No way to give you actually 7 cost pudding because you're probably at 8 dawn and you can't play her at 7. So yeah. Next leaders, we have Rayleigh. Rayleigh is an interesting one. We have different outs for Rayleigh. We can slow them down. We have 9 mom. 8 cost blocker is huge in this matchup. Even the yellow cost Katakuri putting their Luffy's back in their life, or even Sanji, so that you don't allow them to draw, is huge. So it can go either way, but it's still a little unfavored for sure. The matchup that I despise. I used to play this deck all the time. I unfortunately just despise this deck now. I'm very sad about it, honestly. And that's green purple Luffy. This deck does everything. It has double searcher. I'm not ranting, I swear. Half of the deck searches or draws a card, literally more than half. But the reason why this matchup is so difficult is that they dawn minus all the time. So if I'm already struggling, hoping, praying my opponent gains natural dawn every single turn, like the way they should be, well, green purple Luffy says, no, I'm gonna go, instead of 7, I'm gonna be at 6. Instead of 6, I'm gonna be at 5. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Why we gotta do this? I'm ecstatic that my opponent's finally at 6 dawn, because now I can play pudding. Well, on 6, they're gonna play Sanji pudding, dawn minus leader effect, dawn minus, go up to 6, and I'm like, okay. They go up to 5, sorry, because they can't do 2. It's only 1 on that 6 dawn turn. It's like so tough, dude. It's so tough. So not only are we a little slower, they're just so aggressive and they go wide. 6 cost Luffy hits the board. What am I gonna do? Yes, I can put it back with 8 cost Katakuri, but that's like my whole turn. And if not, like, that's definitely my whole turn, because there's no way you're at 8 dawn. I can't even double drop 2 cost Katakuris on you, because you're never hitting 8. Literally never. On top of the fact that you got giant. This matchup is extremely hard. I think it's possible to win, but it's very hard. I think you have to change your whole deck to play against this one deck, and I don't know if it's worth it at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, we're gonna talk about cards that you could be playing instead of, or in addition to my current deck list, which we have here. Cards that you could be playing. Now, I don't have the screenshot with me, and if you guys really want to see it, I'll post it on Twitter or something. But a friend of mine told me about this card. His name is Baller. That's the boy. Big boy Baller. He told me, you need to run this card. I said, why? He's like, you played against GP Luffy and you played against Rayleigh. And I'm like, okay, what's so good about this card? It's a 4 cost, 5k power character. Miss All Sunday OP12 card. 1k counter. On play, K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Key point here. Then your opponent may add 1 Dawn from the Dawn deck instead as active. I said, Baller, you want me to run a 4 cost character to allow my opponent to ramp Dawn? I'm trying to ramp. You want me to help them ramp? And he said, yes. I said, why? He says, well, it allows you to play out 7 cost pudding faster. And he's right. You do. Here's the thing. This card is a one-trick pony card. Only reason why. You have 1 regional chance to do good with this card. And if you top with this card in your deck, it's ruined. Why? They're never gonna ramp. If it's really that good, it's a may effect. They may add 1 Dawn. You see what I'm getting at here? And I can't play it against, like, there's some decks I just can't play it against, right? Like, they just don't really help me out at all. Yeah, that's my opinion on it. Look, Dawn -1, play this card trigger, fantastic. That's pretty sick. Popping a 3 cost or less against Rayleigh, very relevant. Against GP, not relevant at all. But allowing them to ramp so that on 6 Dawn, they're at 7, they play Sanju Pudding, and then so they're at the end of their turn, they're back at 6 Dawn. That's huge. But it's unsearchable. And I have to, like, I literally have to mulligan for it, right? Like, anyways, next card here is we have, look, real quick, back on the Miss Sunday. If you want to run it, it's not a terrible card. It's just maybe not for me. I just don't really want to. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Definitely worth trying out. Next card is we have the 6 cost 7k Kuma. Healing allows you to buy yourself a card, and I actually really like this card in the deck, mainly because, unfortunately, yes, it's not searchable, but it allows you to buy you an extra turn, and on your like 6 to 7 Dawn turn, like 5 to 7 Dawn, you really don't have anything to play. Your pudding is never online at 7 Dawn, so allowing you to play this card is pretty fantastic. So that's actually really, really cool. The only bad problem is this, yeah, you gotta recover 1, but you gotta pitch 1. I'm a big fan of keeping cards in my hand. I don't want to lose cards out of my hand. So that's one thing. Next card is we have 7 cost Linlin. Main reason why this card would be an option for you to play is because you can actually play it off of 7 cost pudding. 7 cost pudding allows you to play a character that's between 6 and 8k power. That is a Big Mom Pirates card. Zynga, this is a card that you can play off of that. You force your opponent to have a life or death situation where they get to either grant you a life or they lose a life. Against a lot of matchups, like Zoro comes in very, very handy. At the same time, if depending on where they are in the board state, they will just lose a life and go for game the following turn. Because they're just mean like that. Next card is we have 10 cost Linlin. It's just a rusher. You could use the effect and kind of go gambling to kind of guess your opponent's lose 5 Dawn and then guess the top card of your opponent's deck. But at that point, I'm good. It's an option though. That is 12k swing is pretty good. Rush, that's fine. I think I'd rather just play like a card like Ace or something like that. Personal opinion though. Although Ace is not searchable, this is searchable. Next card is we have the Red Hawk Pistol. This card allows you to have a play on 5 Dawn. I believe it's 5 Dawn. It's a 4 Dawn. It's a 4 Dawn play. You can actually remove KO a 5 cost or 5 cost or less. Worst case scenario, it's a counter for 3k for the leader, not for your characters. It's only for your leader. So. You can run the 1-cost event search. I like this card a lot. Only reason why I'm not personally running it because I like counter more. Although this finds you every single card in your deck except for beige, as well as the 0-cost event card with my current list. It's a very good option. Just it's no counter, right? So next card is we have Judgment of Hell. Judgment of Hell is fantastic late game, but you're not playing it at any turn before late game at all. So you have to be at least 8 Dawn with a 8-cost category to play this card. I mean, you can do it otherwise too, but it's just way better if you do. Is to Die For is a card that allows you to ramp on 3 that is searchable, as well as Lead Performer. If you're running the 1-cost event searcher, you can actually run this card. It allows you to draw a card plus ramp. Fantastic options. These are some possibilities you can run. I'm going to give a huge shout out to the player that got top 32. Not sure what regional was, but this is their deck list. Huge congrats to them. You can find this list as well as many other lists on eggmanevents.com. And this is their build. A couple different options they're running that we're going to just go ahead and talk about. They're running the Sunday. They're running the Sunday, which, hey, look, it worked. The GOAT. Pudding GOAT. You got it. Flampe is an interesting choice. I like this card in the deck. Mainly because if you only have one face-up life that's face-up, you can play Flampe, you take your life, you get to draw a card, plus you swing with lead, you get to ramp once again. Very, very solid. We have 2 copies of Rosinante. Main reason why we're playing this card is because look at the amount of events that we're playing. A lot. We're playing a lot of events. So late game, we get to draw 2 cards, which is fantastic. We get to kind of filter. We're hard playing this card, unfortunately. We can't play it off Pudding, which is very sad, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's very good. The cycling is good. The drawing is good. I talked about how important the drawing was. So we have 4 copies of Pudding, 4 copies of Katakuri, 1 copy of Katakuri. That's reasonable. 3 copies of Linlin. I like the Linlin. We're also running the 5K 2-cost event card. That works for a leader or character, and then if it's triggered, you actually get to draw. You get to pitch 2 and then recover 1. Solid card. Love this card so much. Huge fan of this card. 5K is crazy good against Zoro. Very, very relevant. Really good stuff. 4 copies of Judgment. That is a lot of Judgment of Hell. What is really cool about this trigger is if your opponent has 6 or more Dawn, they actually get the Dawn -1. It kind of works anti-Pudding if they early trigger it, but also saying then back down 1 Dawn is pretty insane. So I don't know. You probably just take it. You probably never trigger it. Maybe it's tough. I guess it depends on the matchup, right? Lead Performer, we're running 2 copies. We like the draw, we like the ramp, and then 1 copy of Conquest of the Sea. Now, this one is a little tough because unlike Rosinante, we get to filter and then draw. For the extra 5 Dawn, we're probably just swinging heavy here, leaving maybe 2 Dawn active for one of our events. But this is having a nice little option that's also searchable thanks to the 1-cost event, which is quite relevant. I am okay on this card. I think the removal on 2 cards is very good, but it has to be at the right time at the perfect, and that's probably why we're running 1 copy of it, right? Like, who cares? So, yeah, that's a huge congrats to them. Like, insane, dude. Like, being the first Pudding out here to top 32, a very big event, 1,000 players is what I saw, is huge. So, whoever you are, you're awesome, dude. Really, really great stuff. So, once again, this is my deck. Yeah, that is going to be it for me today, guys. I encourage everyone to try out Pudding on the sim. It's a lot of fun. Just don't tell them that I sent you over, because once you start dropping on 9 Dawn, a 7-cost Pudding and 2 8-cost Katakuris, don't tell them that I sent you, because they're going to get very upset. So thank you guys so much for checking out this channel, this video. I really do appreciate it, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new One Piece content coming out soon. See ya!